o'clock in the morning and they
we're
did
gonna
not
watch a
want to
little
wake
later.
up.
Yes, I'm not sure if our friends from Australia are going to join on live on this meeting or if they're going to catch up later. Sometimes I love their story. They sometimes go and sleep over in their classroom and then wake up at 1, 2 in the morning and join our meetings and then go back to bed.
Very fun slumber party.
Those teachers are troopers if they let that happen. And that's the kind of teacher I hope that my children get one
Totally.
day. And I mean, amazing teachers like all of you here who have brought your students to participate
And I
in this
think you
program.
would all wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, right?
Well, if our friends from Philippines join, I think it's 11 p.m. for them. So it is.
Yes, hi, we're
Hi,
here.
Geraldine.
Hi, Sarah.
Oh,
Hi, Rebecca.
you're here! Yay! You are amazing as well to come so late and be so dedicated. Oh, we have friends from Viking,
Of course,
Alberta.
yeah.
Oh,
Of
awesome.
course, yeah.
Oh, good, good.
So many Canadians this year.
We
I love it.
can't wait to present and to talk to everyone. The kids are
Awesome.
very much excited.
Wonderful.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, yes. See you, see you. Thank
So we're
you.
gonna give 2 more minutes and start at 9:05. So if you have any thoughts that you want together, as you know, later we're going to be doing breakouts, just as Geraldine was saying. And so they'll be going. We used to say you could have lots of slides, and we would want to hear you share about your country and present a bit. But we found that sometimes there was not enough time for everyone to talk. And so this year we're going to do themed rooms. And so we'll open the breakout rooms and you'll choose a theme that you want to talk about with other students. And when you talk, you'll say your name, your school, the country you're from, and then something from your country related to that theme. We have a little prompting question. And so we'll get to that. But remember, if I know that Taiwan said that they had slides, but just make very certain that it is not too long because we want a chance for everyone in the breakouts to speak. And we give lots of extra time today to do that, but still sometimes it's tight and we want to make sure you all get to speak to each other. Wonderful. All right, we are getting down. There's the Slido if you want to answer that.
Oh, I see Turkey has taken over as the
Turkey's
most
taken
common
over.
country.
Yeah.
Perfect. Lots of our friends online from Turkey. I think it's in the evening, or no, it's the afternoon there, 3 p.m.-ish. If my time zone calculating is correct. Hello, Gule.
Gulay, nice to see you.
Hello. Rebecca, Sarah, Terry. Hello. How are you?
Good.
Wonderful.
Our school in Turkey, Gule,
Yeah.
just hosted our school from Australia
Yeah.
just a few days ago.
That's
Australia
right.
went to do a decarbonized visit and did a school. It was so amazing. And
Yes.
they posted a picture on the WhatsApp of all the children outside dancing in the
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, it was
was-
very nice.
it was so amazing. I'm so excited that you were able to do that.
Yeah.
So thank you to both Australia and Turkey for sharing that moment of
Thank you. Thank you.
collaboration with us. So great.
Yeah.
All right, so 9:05. Welcome everyone, yay, to another wonderful year of Decarbonize. We are so excited today to bring you all together for another season, another few months of Decarbonize Global Climate Program. Now, this program is designed as a place for youth, for you to put you at the center of action against climate change and biodiversity loss. As we face unprecedented environmental challenges, we must recognize the vital role of young voices and the way you play in shaping solutions that are not only innovative, but also inclusive and equitable and impactful. Now, education, if you think about it, education is the start of our efforts to combat climate change. That's where you're going to learn it all. That's where you can become passionate about these issues. So education is the start. This is how we get to become passionate. And so learning about the environment and sustainability empowers you with the knowledge you need to impact your community. Through Decarbonize this year, we aim to harness all your creativity, all your passion, and then give you the tools to inform your friends, your family, your faith groups, your schools, your communities, and engage not only each other and sort of inspire action, but to speak with decision makers and to advocate everywhere for sustainable practices. As we know that the relationship between climate and biodiversity becomes more and more clear, it's essential that we adapt to an approach to thinking about these issues that's not just everyday actions, which are very important. It's important that we take those everyday actions, but we also need to learn how to think big. Think big about systems, about governments and industries and schools, about education and what that means. So recent reports have shown how climate change drives biodiversity loss and how looking at these things together enhances action towards both outcomes. So they aren't individual silos, they are a full system that we need to look at together. And here at Decarbonize, we believe that when we empower your voices, your young voices, and that you are heard, you can be the champions of change. So it's not just about, it involves everyone in society, but you are not being left behind. You can be change makers in this. So this program is not about just thinking of the now, but thinking of the future, where young leaders like you are steering society towards resilience and sustainability. So welcome, as we go on this journey together, uniting our voices and our efforts for the future of our planet and biodiversity and generations to come. Let's listen, let's learn, and let's lead together. Because together we can be the drive for change. So welcome everyone. Yeah. All right.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I was just so inspired that I needed to put my words together this morning and share them with you. So we are going to open with a wonderful keynote from our friend Lewis. He is joining us from, we have a wonderful relationship with biodiversity organizations around the world. And Lewis is the founder and director of the Organization for Environmental Education and Protection, OPEPA. OPEPA is a nonprofit organization, and it holds registration in both Colombia and the US, and is dedicated to promoting nature-based and regenerative education. OPEPA has worked with over 130,000 children, youth, and educators, fostering a more sustainable and peaceful world. And an interesting note is that OPEPA won an award, the 100 Award, which is an education award, the same year we did. And so we were both 100 champions in the same year. So it's a lovely sort of marriage in this event. And so we wanted to invite Lewis to come and share a few words about his organization, but also youth work in this area. Lewis, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Sarah. It's really a privilege, more even a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you all today. So, can you see my screen? Just confirming. Okay, so as Sarah was mentioning, I come from Colombia. Colombia is an incredible place, and I hope many of you sometime have a chance to come visit. But Colombia is a place that has inspired me in many ways. And I think the most, let's say, the stronger way that I've been inspired by Colombia is its biodiversity. I don't know if you know, but Colombia is the second most biodiverse country in the world. But if we look at the amount of area versus Brazil, Colombia would be the most biodiverse, within the area it has, because it's not a very big country. And Colombia has shown me the diversity of everything in our planet. And in that process, I've realized, that we live in such a magical place. And this place where we live, we call our home, which is Earth, the one you see. It's actually not only our home, it's probably the being, and I want to call the Earth the being, because it would be the subset of everything that lives on the Earth, and its representation, manifestation. It's actually the the being with most knowledge. Because if we look at learning, learning occurs as we move through life, making mistakes, discovering new things, and then reformulating and adding all that to our knowledge. But the earth, especially life on the earth, has been doing this for 3.8 billion years. So think about it, 3.8, that's, a lot of zeros of years. And that means that the earth has taken this time to develop the wonderful and magical places, species, interactions, and living system of which we are part of. And this is fundamental. Because as humans, even though the last 15,000 years we've taken a little more, let's say, control, or we've been actors a lot more prominent in the earth, the earth really has spent so much more time developing life than the time that we have been living on the planet. And this is crazy because throughout this time, especially the last 100, 150 years, we've done great impact to the planet. And as you are aware, this impact manifests not only in biodiversity loss, but in, a complex climate reality we are living today. But it's a reality that is based on the interconnections and interdependence of all these systems that we can see on the screen that have been developed for so long. But how do we, as youth, as adults, participate? We are active participants in this world. And, sometimes we forget we are nature, but at the same time, we are nature, and we have the capacity to bring our will, our thinking, our intentions to mold our environment and to create the worlds we want to live on. So this is really important. This is the picture you're seeing is a workshop done with students from our country where they're designing the way they want their city to be, the way they want education to connect to nature and build the educational frameworks and learning environments that they can enjoy and build together. But we've realized that one of the key elements to really be active and be able to get involved has to do with connecting and how we connect deeply. One of the root causes of all the problems we're seeing in climate change is that humans and nature have separated. And they have separated, in our minds, because we are not. We are mammals. We are life within this planet. But we have come to believe that we are not nature and we're separate from nature. So one of the key elements that I invite you to start looking for and sharing with others is that process of reconnecting deeply with nature, in such a way that we realize that nature is not an object outside of us. It's actually a subject to which we relate every day, every single day, and to which we are connected and we depend on. So this deep connection allows us to increase our empathy with life. So our empathy with ourselves, our empathy with others, and our empathy with all life around us. And this is a key component of what I'm inviting you to. The second thing is, as Sarah was saying, we live in a very complex system, but we need to understand that systems really work not on the parts. They work on the way the parts relate with each other. So if you look at a healthy system really is based on the health of the interactions between the parts of the system. So if we bring this to the planet is not just about trees, birds, mammals, and different species in the planet. It's really about how we are relating to each other. And this is what I call the invisible. So what we see is the visible, but how they relate, how energy flows is the invisible. So my second invitation is for you to awaken your naturalist, the naturalist that is within you. This individual that really wants to learn how to sense, how to feel, how to sense the visible and the invisible. Never leave your awe, curiosity, and capacity for discovery at home. Bring it with you all the time. Because I think in looking for solutions and in looking for innovations, we need to be really awakened and, exploring, discovering, and being able to see the visible and the invisible, because that's how we're going to really innovate in what we need to do for the future. And this brings us to acting and acting for regeneration. How do we frame our leadership, our stewardship capacity, and how do we start acting locally as planetary citizens? This is really important. And it's critical to connect, to awaken our naturalist spirit in order to act for regeneration. Because if you think of it, if we're not connected, or if we can't sense what's happening and the quality of relationships around us, it's going to be very hard for us to know if we're acting and building vitality in the systems and the living systems around us. So these three things are fundamental, and you need to always be connecting deeper, awakening, your natural spirit, or learning how to sense and sensing, and acting. And it's actually not even a circular, it's an entangled relationship where all this happens all the time. And we need to keep ourselves awakened in such a way that we can really act for regeneration. And this leads us to one of our current predicaments. I'm youth, my youth is inside, because outside I'm now a little more white-haired, but I still feel very young. And I've realized in the time I've been living that there's one real important thing that is reducing our capacity to generate change. And it's this idea of resistance. We've focused a lot of our attention to resisting the past, resisting what we don't like, and resisting. We push. But as we push, and you can see it in this image, or if you push a wall, the wall will push back at you. And we're spending a lot of time just pushing back, pushing and thinking what we did wrong and why we don't want to do that. And, how we want to push back all those things that are happening that are creating climate change and reducing biodiversity. And I've realized that that is our immediate reaction. We want to push back. But if we look at nature, nature doesn't push back. Nature actually flows. So my invitation is to move from resistance, from pushing back, to resonance, which is pushing forward. And pushing forward is all about understanding our past, understanding our present, but moving, with flow into our, the world we want to create, the world we want to live in today. It's not tomorrow. It's not in 10 years. It's today. So moving into resonance is actually moving into creating the world we want to live today. And this requires leadership. This required new types of leadership. And I want to emphasize that leadership is not one, let's say, a one formula thing. It's leaderships. There's many types of leaderships. But here, really, I want to embrace the new leaderships, which are leaderships that are embracing nature, that are learning from nature, understanding nature, and inspired by how nature has led for 3.8 billion years to create the magic of life that we see today around us. So this new type of leadership allows us really not to think only of ourselves, but to think of ourselves as part of an ecosystem, as part of a living system that's interconnected, interdependent, that's entangled. So these new types of leaderships really require each of us to lead at different times in different ways, but always to lead in such a way that we can create conditions for life to thrive, because this is what life does, creates conditions for life to thrive. And this ultimately is what allows us to think, in terms of how can we solve the problems of today. It's not about resisting, it's about resonance with life and creating those conditions for life to thrive. So look deep into nature. because nature can teach you so many things. Nature can inspire you, and nature as a teacher itself is the oldest and wisest teacher we have. So my invitation is to put your backpacks on and let's go. Let's go, because from today, with the first step we take, we start building the world we want to create. So we don't have to wait for older people, for policy, for everyone around us. We need to start building that story and writing the story of the world we want to see, and we have to do it now. So I invite you to go with me, to go with my daughters that you see on the screen, and take that trail that leads into the forest of life, where all of us can share together, but can share with all life around us and all the other species. So put your boots on, and remember, going is not about going by ourselves. It's about going together. So really realize that by acting together, walking together, intergenerationally, globally, we can really shift the story of our planet, and we can really shift the way we create cities, the way we create communities, and we can bring ideas that create communities of well-being, that prosper and allow life to actually come to life around us. So, this is what I call, and this comes from a mentor, which is Joanna Macy, which is a term, active hope. Because sometimes we hope, but waiting for something from outside to come in and change our world. But active hope is about taking, our life, taking our ideas, taking our capacities to act, putting our boots on and acting and creating the hope, writing that story of the world we want to see. So I hope with this, I see you throughout, this year and throughout your lives. I see you walking with your boots really well strapped on, walking together and creating the world you really want to see today. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Lewis. That was such a great, powerful message on how students don't need to wait. That they can start now, not only in their actions, but in their orientation of their lives and their brains to embodying what we need to change and who we need to be. So thank you, Lewis, so much for sharing that. And I know your organization says so much around connecting students, especially within South America, around these issues. And I encourage all of our South American teachers to look up OPEPA and to contact us or Lewis. I'm sure, Lewis, would you mind putting your email in the chat for some of our teachers if they're interested?
I'll put my information there. It's
perfect.
My pleasure.
Amazing. Thank you.
No, thank you.
So we were looking at our Slido, and so many schools are joining us today. We had over 43 response. Oh, look at you. Oh, no, it's we did our first question, and now we moved on to another one. We had to stop this one, but this is the new question. So if you can look in the link there, we're going to share it again later. How would you, if you were meeting aliens for the first time, what visual of our planet would you want to show them to sort of, this is Earth? And so that's in the chat, but we're going to go now back to us and our wonderful decarbonized family. So we have over 75 countries, hundreds of schools. This is just a little map around showing how we are located around the world. And remember, if you have friends or colleagues in other countries who are interested in doing this work, we would love to grow our family even more. But welcome to everyone who's in the program this year. We're going to go through just a few steps on what to expect, what's coming next, so you know, and then we'll go into how you get started today. And then we're going to welcome our school from Baku, who are going to tell us a little bit about COP29, so the UN Climate Conference, the building point of a lot of our action together. So we started on Earth Day, we ended last year's, and we passed the baton to this year. And activity 1 is online now. You are welcome to look in the chat. We're sharing it right now on how to access it. So log in, look at activity 1 and see what you need to do. We're going to show a surprise example from our school in Trinidad. They don't even know, but I see our friends here from Trinidad.
You can always see their uniforms in
Yeah.
the meets.
And so you'll see activity 1 showcased here in a second. Activity 2 is going to start later in October, and that's where we pair your schools, Global North, Global South, and you'll work together on an activity, and you'll share that conversation, learning with each other. Then we lead into activity 3. Now, this is going to be our manifesto writing. So November 1st to 3rd, a crazy 3 days of no sleep.
We don't sleep. You guys get to sleep.
Writing spectacular, where we come together and with all we have done on our activity 1, all we've done in activity 2, and then that global survey that's right there in the middle that you should already be thinking about, who am I going to get in my school to run this? We're going to write our manifesto. And the manifesto is the foundation. It's the starting point from which we go to our local governments, to our schools, to our communities and say, we want change. Here's what we think. But what's also what we take to the UN Climate Conference. And that's where we start our conversation and say, this is what the children of the world are worried about, their ideas, their passions this year. Listen to what we have to say. And so we'll be writing that document November 1st to 3rd. You will be able to sign up on the Padlet, on our classroom. And then we go to Baku, to Azerbaijan, where the UN Climate Conference is being held. And a select group will go into the negotiating zone, and everyone else will be in the green zone. We'll be meeting with people. We'll be hosting panels. We have a great art project that we're doing with another organization. We'll be visiting schools. Maybe Baku will have to tell us if they're keeping their schools open. Sometimes they close, but we have so many plans. So first, as you can see, the first step, maybe we'll go next slide to the 3 ways to get started today. First step, get on our global classroom. So here's the BuBui QR link. You can scan that. You can go onto the chat and click the link there. If you're on your phone, it might be trickier. It might be easier to just take the QR code. And if anything else, your teacher definitely has the link. And so through all these different ways, you can get online today and see activity 1. All right, here's our example of it.
Let me know if there's an issue with the audio. I didn't test it.
Oh, yes.
There is an issue with the audio. Okay,
Yeah.
1 second.
All right, so the first activity involves thinking about what's going on with climate education in your country. What has your country committed to in its national determined contributions? So NDCs. Each country,
Sorry, I think if we switch our mutes, we can play it.
okay. Each country commits to certain changes. And so a part of that is, have they committed to education changes? Have they committed to engaging youth? And so you'll be looking at that and then making a video commenting on what you hope to see.
We're going to try it one more time.
I'm 18 years old and I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. Climate education is important to me because growing up in an island state, the effects of climate change have always been on my doorstep. That's why it's imperative that everyone knows the causes and effects of climate change, especially to us on the front lines. One thing I want to get from climate education are inclusive climate solutions.
I'm not going to talk for a second. Okay, sorry.
So many computers.
So many computers, but you can go onto the pad that we're going to load Isaiah's video on there. I saw our friends in Trinidad taking a screenshot with their the cameras there to showcase their friend. Isaiah was our global lead last year in Dubai, and he made this amazing video for us. And so your job is to go on, read activity 1, think about your country and its commitments and where education and youth fit into that. And then create a video saying, you know what I want from climate education? I want this. And so you'll be able to hear him better on the Padlet. And so next is Art for Action. So this is our, we are bringing art together again, as we do every year, bringing art, showcasing that creative way of expressing your hopes, your fears, your passions around climate and biodiversity. So Art for Climate is the name of the specific program related to COP 29, but you can still submit for the biodiversity conference in Colombia. So it doesn't have to be just climate. It can be all sorts of environmentally nature themed art. We would love to have and showcase. We take it to the UN climate meetings and the UN biodiversity meeting, and we showcase it on the walls. And we're so excited to feature your art. Please, if you have any trouble using the form, let us know. It's just a Google form where you upload, easy peasy, but if you need help, we are here for you. We want to showcase your art. And it also gives a chance for those who are younger to participate. So you can take, in this webpage, there's a link to how to run this in classes. You can take that guide and go into a classroom and run an art activity around climate with other students, with younger students. That's a great action project to do. And so that's an idea of the second way you can get involved.
I would like to add one thing, because I have had a couple questions about this. What is the deadline to submit art? We don't have a set deadline, but just know the sooner you get it in, the more likely we will have time to print it before we leave for Colombia or before we leave for Azerbaijan. Okay. So if you want to get your art featured at both of these conferences, try to get it in next week. We can probably bring it to both conferences. The sooner the better.
Wonderful. And here are some of the highlights from this month.
I also wanted to show this because you can see we've got painting, collage, pencil crayon, whatever you're interested in, we want it all.
Wonderful. So next up is sign up for that writer's retreat. It is time to get your word on page to be a powerful message that we send around the world. So that is the third way to get involved. Again, we're gonna just throw the map.
I don't have a link for it.
No, that's okay. It's on the Padlet.
Yeah.
So the next is our map again of what we're doing. So we have right now getting online for activity 1, getting the global survey out to teachers in your school, getting your friends to do it, sharing it on your social medias. Activity 2, your bilaterals, don't worry, your teachers and I will take care of that. But it's coming. You're going to talk to another classroom somewhere in the world. And then the third way to get, or the second way to get involved is art. And the third way is the manifesto. Woo! We are ready to go. All right. This is a wonderful opportunity to hear from one of our schools. So QSI Baku International School is our host school in Baku this year. We are so excited to welcome those students on. They're going to tell us a little bit more about Azerbaijan. We're going to share their slides.
Oh, do we have their slides? I'm sorry.
I do. I have them. I did not share them with. Here we go. So I want to, oopsies. Woo! Don't want to give you guys a preview. So our friends from Azerbaijan, if you wanted to unmute and say hello, we'll mute so that the focus goes onto you.
Hi, so I'm going to be talking about the culture of Azerbaijan.
Hello.
Hello.
I saw you all here. I know you're somewhere in the
I
meeting.
did see one of you turn green, but I didn't hear anything.
Teoman, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello?
And I see the teacher.
Yeah, we can hear the students from Azerbaijan speaking.
Oh, sorry.
Hello.
It's our problem.
Hi.
Go ahead. Sorry about
Hello.
I'm going to be talking about the culture of Azerbaijan. So if we could go to the next slide.
Next slide.
So Mugam is a traditional music of Azerbaijan, and it includes improvisation, and it shows different time periods of Azerbaijan's history. And in the past, it was performed at weddings, and it includes like a singer and then a group of musicians who played the tar, kamancha, and the daf. And here are some images showing those. So the cuisine of Azerbaijan is very diverse. We've got plov, which is a very like diverse type of dish, and there's over 50 types of them. And we usually prepare them on special holidays. We've also got kebab, which is a popular cuisine in the Caucasus regions. It can be made from vegetables and from meat. And here are some photos. And then we've also got many dolmas, which are minced meat wrapped in either leaves or cabbage peels and put into tomatoes and eggplants and peppers. So carpets have been a part of Azerbaijan's culture for many years, and which that dates back to the Bronze Age, and they're usually handmade. So the literature of Azerbaijan, one of them is Bayati, which is a lyrical genre of national folklore, and it shows the lifestyle and traditions of the nation. And then Kitab-ı Dede Gorgud is an ancient cultural momentum, and it's mythological, and it became a piece of literature in the 11th century. It's about the morals and values of the Turkic people. Thank you.
For the religions in Azerbaijan, it is mostly a Muslim country with about 96% of the population being Muslim. There are two denominations that are most prominent, Sunni and Shia, and the latter 4% of the population consists of a mix of various religions. Next slide. There's also a large variety of holidays in Azerbaijan, with the dates of religious ones varying based on Islamic and lunar calendar. The examples of widely celebrated and significant holidays would be Nowruz, which celebrates 4 elements: fire, water, soil, and wind, and Independence Day, which celebrates the day Azerbaijan became an independent state. For the languages that are spoken in Azerbaijan, there's of course Azerbaijani, which is the official and most commonly spoken language. There's also Russian, which is the first or second language of many citizens. English is also spoken, but it is seen more with the younger people.
Hi, so I'm going to be talking about Azerbaijan's climate. So Azerbaijan has 9 of the 11 climate zones: the semi-desert and dry steppe, the subtropical and humid, subtropical dry, continental, mountainous alpine, temperate mild, alpine tundra, and cold steppe and forest steppe. So about the Caspian Sea, the Caspian Sea is actually not a sea, it's a lake. It's the largest lake in the world. And it's called a sea for 2 reasons. 1, because of its size, and 2, because it's partially saltwater. The Caspian Sea is surrounded by 5 countries, Azerbaijan being one of them. The Caspian Sea northern part is more freshwater, while the southern part is saltier water. But it is definitely not as salty as ocean water, but it is more salty towards the southern part. And the Caspian Sea does produce some of the world's best caviar. The Caucasian Mountains. So there are 2 main ranges, the Greater Caucasus in the north and the Lesser Caucasus in the south. The Caucasus Mountains stretch across Azerbaijan, forming natural borders between Europe and Asia. People have lived in the Caucasus Mountains for thousands and thousands of years. There are ancient villages and cultural sites throughout the area, which are really interesting to see from years and years ago. In winter, many areas in the mountains are covered in snow, making them great for skiing and winter sports. We have a great skiing center called Shagdag. And the Greater Caucasus Mountains help protect Azerbaijan from cold northern winds, making the climate warmer, which is why usually Baku, which is the capital city, is the warmer part of Azerbaijan.
Hi, so I'll be talking about Azerbaijan's landmarks and different sightseeing. Of course, there are many, but I'll just be covering the main ones. So the first one is İçel Şehir, which translates to Old City. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, being Baku's one of the most historic areas of Baku, showcasing traditional architecture and the heritage of Azerbaijan. And it's actually surrounded by walls, which were originally for defensive purposes. Next is Guzgalası, also translating to Maiden Tower. It is also located in the Old City, dating back to the 12th century. There are various legends circulating around this tower, and currently this is a museum showcasing the evolution of the city of Baku. The Palace of the Shirvanshahs is also located in the Old City, being built in the 15th century as a residence for the rulers of the Shirvanshahs. This is a rather large complex having many facilities and mosques and caravanserai, and it features a blend of Islamic and Persian architecture. Next, we have the Bibi Hayat Mosque, being one of the most popular mosques in Baku. It was built in the 1990s, but originally there was another mosque built in the 13th century. Currently, it serves as a place of worship to this day. We have the Flame Towers, which is a very iconic trio of buildings symbolizing fire, one of the symbols of Azerbaijan. Though these three buildings are similar in architecture and design, they all serve different purposes. And interestingly enough, one of them remains largely unused, which is the office building. The Heydar Aliyev Center is a cultural center which holds many exhibitions, performances, competitions, projects, or other events throughout the year. The design makes it a unique landmark, being designed by the famous architect Zaha Hadid. Next, we have the famous Zoroastrian fire temple, Atishkan. This temple has natural burning gas outlets, which is important to Zoroastrianism. It's located on the outskirts of Baku. Next, we have the Galo Archaeological Ethnographic Museum. This museum was founded to preserve various archaeological finds in the Absheron area, showcasing findings dating all the way back to the 30th century. This museum also includes another complex, which is named From Waste to Art, which showcases various arts made from items that usually would have been thrown away. Next, we have Gobustan, which is a cultural reserve and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This reserve contains thousands of rock engravings and previously inhabited caves during the Paleolithic era and the Middle Ages. As you can see, there are some stone carvings. And I'd also like to mention Shahdili, which looks like the beak of Azerbaijan. If you look at it on the map, it's a spit in Azerbaijan. That's all. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mohammed, and I want to talk about oil production in Azerbaijan and its environmental impacts. Azerbaijan has been a major oil producer since the late 19th century, with the Caspian Sea region being a significant hub for oil extraction. However, oil production comes with various environmental challenges. These include oil spills and leaks that damage ecosystems, air pollution from refineries and transportation, soil contamination, which affects agriculture and biodiversity, water pollution, which impacts marine and freshwater systems in and around the Caspian Sea. In addition to these environmental issues, oil production in Azerbaijan contributes to climate change. The oil and gas industry is a major source of Azerbaijan's greenhouse gas emissions, which accelerate global warming. Azerbaijan is committed to addressing this issue. As a signatory of the Paris Agreement, the country is working to balance its energy needs with efforts to reduce emissions and adapt to climate change. This includes both mitigation efforts to reduce carbon emissions and adaptation strategies to cope with the effects of climate change. Thank you for listening.
Hello, everyone. Next, we have governmental initiatives. There have been some efforts to clean up polluted areas, such as oil-contaminated land around Baku. However, several challenges remain in terms of large-scale environmental recovery. As alternatives to oil, Azerbaijan is promoting renewable energy resources such as solar and wind. Azerbaijan has 3 gigawatts of onshore potential wind energy, as well as 157 gigawatts of potential offshore wind energy. Next, we have cooperation with global environmental bodies. Azerbaijan is working with international organizations to address these environmental issues, particularly in the framework of global climate agreements. Two examples of these would be the World Bank and the UNFCCC.
Hey, my name is Murad, and I'm going to be talking about what our school is about and what we proudly represent of ourselves. Baku International School is a school of Quality School International, an organization that has a high-class education schools all over the globe. We are an international school with an American curriculum, making students who transition into the US feel like at home. Here at BIS, we practice success orientations, which are the 7 values given by QSI that each student has to meet in order to be a good citizen. The 7 include trustworthiness, responsibility, concern for others, kindness and politeness, group interaction, aesthetic appreciation, independent endeavor. Those values also align with both American and international systems. In addition, our in-school clubs, like the Human Rights Club, Student Council, and the National Honor Society, encourage and develop all of the listed above.
Amazing. Thank you so much to our students from Baku.
I popped it in the chat, but this is making me very excited, specifically the food. Your country looks amazing.
Oh my goodness. Oh, yay. Argentina's giving you big props in their room. We can see them. Oh, we can see lots of waving. But really, I am amazed. I did not know so much about Azerbaijan, and I'm very excited now to really understand more about your culture. It's an interesting, I think it'll be interesting. There'll be a lot of schools who want to pair with you, especially our friends in Dubai and our friends here in Alberta. We have some online from Calgary right now who are very oil-based in their economies as well.
Yeah.
And how does that impact conversations around climate transitions? Because it is a unique place to be where your economy is based on oil, and you need that, but then you also have the concerns around climate and emissions and biodiversity and all of those that have to come into consideration as well.
For sure.
So I think there's going to be a lot of people who want to partner with you, and so it'll be interesting conversations. All right, so at Baku, what does our climate summit look like? If you are interested, you can talk to your teacher about, hey, I think I might want to be involved in this. And so here's a few pictures of our highlights from last year. You see Isaiah in the bottom there, who you saw the video of him on his climate education. It involves panels, presentations, speeches, meeting important dignitaries from countries, our own and others. We do presentations in schools. We host live events called Live from COP, where we connect schools and children around the world to what's going on at COP, not from an adult broadcasting point of view, but from a youth, like this is what's important that's going on right now for youth, and you need to know about it. So it's hosted by our youth on the ground.
And planned by our youth
And
too.
planned by our youth. So these are some of the exciting activities, but it's about, it's not one event. These things run yearly, and they also have different, so we'll be going to COP16, which is the biodiversity COP, in just a few weeks. And that will lead to conversations in the climate COP. And that is in November. And then from there is other conversations, the World Congress on Conservation, the other COP, and all of these need to build. And so each of our projects, though this might be your year to lead and decarbonize, you are not on your own. You are passing the baton to the next year. And so just like last year's, our friends who were featured at last year's COP, everything they did adds to the project this year. And you are on this great journey of impact. And so we wanted to know that it's not just about you and this year, it's a larger momentum building towards what's the message that youth want to present at all of these events. But also, how can you build the skills if you are interested in going into broadcasting, or you're interested in going into politics? This is where you can really build those skills around that. And so we're going to send you now, yay, into our breakout rooms. We're going to open the rooms. They are themed on in the chat we have our topics of conversation. We also have a little question prompt. So if you've forgotten what one you want, and what you're supposed to talk about, it is right there. You can download it and look at it. But all of these, we have climate and weather, we have biodiversity, we have climate education, pollution, environmental law and policies, and then oceans and coastal zones. So you pick the topic that interests you, you hit join, and then teachers, we are trusting that we'll try to pop into all of the rooms, but if there's a teacher in the room, if you can help facilitate the conversation and just say, you can go first, Judy, just so there is it starts and then we keep going. So we're going to help our students in the rooms as teachers.
And I suggest you make sure you remember to click on that link in the chat before you hop into your room, because that link has the information about what questions you're supposed to talk about. So teachers and students, make sure you click on that link before you choose your room, and then you guys are welcome to choose whichever room you want to break into. And sorry, Sarah, how much time do we have before we have to be back?
We are gonna for sure give you 15 minutes, but if we notice that some of the groups are unbalanced, we might bring you back and then send you into new rooms, or just regenerate the conversation. We have 20 minutes total. And then after that, our friend Catalina from Brazil, who is with us from the Alana Institute, is gonna give us a wonderful message from her organization, but also from Brazil. And so we're gonna welcome you back with that when we're all done. So our speakers, if you wanna go into rooms, you're welcome to join the conversation. We will see you back here very soon. So everyone pick your rooms. If you need to, in the chat, say, Azerbaijan is going to environmental policies. You can, no problem.
You can also go by yourself.
Go by yourself, meet new people.
Yeah, it's just a relaxed discussion.
And if you don't pick a room and you're a student, we'll probably pop you in one. So there is that as well. Now is your chance.
We should see the breakout room. If you don't see it, click on the bottom of your screen and choose a breakout room. See, we're starting to hop in there.
I see there's some fierce discussion in Argentina which room their whole class is going to go into. That's tricky.
Look, we already have some in every room. This is awesome.
Now, if you're having a hard time, you can also use the React or just unmute quickly and be like, help, because we can also put you in a room.
Yeah, type it in the chat or unmute and say, put me in this room. We can move you into a room if that's easier.
Hello, Daman. Do you need some help there? Which room would you like to go into?
You could put me in any, it doesn't really matter.
Awesome, done. Which room? Oopsies, I lost you. Oopsies.
I got him. I lost her.
Why
Why isn't it popping up? There we go.
There we go. All right,
I
I
don't
put
know
you in
why mine's not
coastals.
working. Okay.
And yourself and Mohammed, do you need help too?
Yes, please. Could you please put me in pollution?
You bet.
Thank you.
Oh, I wish it was alphabetical. There we go, found you.
Can you put me in climate and weather?
I would love
I think I can do
to.
it from here, maybe.
Thank you.
Oh, I can't.
I just gotta find
Can you
your
put
name.
me in climate and weather too?
1 second. I don't know who just spoke.
We're not really.
I did.
Okay. Yugis. You wanted to go on climate?
Yeah.
Where did
Perfect.
Me too, please.
Oh, I see it. There you are. I found you. The screen keeps moving as people
As people leave.
join. Oh, I can't get you in. It's got to go so fast before someone does it. There,
Got it.
Got it.
All right, who's next? I think I might just start popping people in if that's
So
okay.
teachers, we're gonna start assigning you to rooms so you can go in and help moderate.
Thank you.
Those whose English is not very strong, we will let you decide.
It's so hard to do when everyone's moving
West
around.
Side Secondary, where would you guys like to go? I saw you guys debating on it. Do you want us to just pick for you? I can see people there.
Drew, I can put you in there.
What do you think?
Biodiversity.
Biodiversity?
Hello? Oh, we're down here.
Can you put us in biodiversity, please?
Would love to. I think you have to click accept, maybe? I don't know. Valerie, I'm going to put you, do you have a preference?
No, I don't.
Sounds good. You might have to accept it because I think I tried to, oh no, it did not work.
I don't see anything here to accept. Oh, there it is.
Hakan in Turkey.
I'm trying to think back to all of my bilateral meetings I've sat in
Turkey?
on, and I'm thinking about the big issues from the different countries, and I'm trying to put you guys in the rooms that fit.
I'm just putting people in rooms.
Okay, I think we have most people. I'm gonna pop my extra
It's good to
computer
see
into a breakout
you.
room as well.
Where would you like to go? Good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, can I just go into climate?
You bet.
Thank you.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, perfect. There we go. You are on your way. TT, we're gonna put you in biodiversity.
In biodiversity. Sorry.
I was just checking.
Sarah, can you put me to biodiversity, please?
I would love to. If you can make
Thank
sure the
you.
conversation is going well, that would be yeah.
Thank you.
You bet. All right.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm gonna take off.
Okay,
But
thanks.
wish you the
Thanks so
best.
much for the
Thank you
wonderful
very much.
presentation.
Have a great one.
You
as
too.
well. So in this room, because we're streaming this live to the internet, I'm going to play a video from our friends in Madagascar that they shared with us because they were not able to join today. Let me get that set up here.
I can't hear what these guys are saying, but it looks like they're having a
They're-
really good conversation.
Where did that go? Now, if you're in the main room here and you want to join another group and you can't, please just let us know and we will make sure you get in a room. Where did I put that? Here we are. Wonderful. We are gonna play our All right.
My name is Elena.
Excuse me, sorry.
Here we go. Share.
My name is Elena. I'm 15 years old.
My name is Serge. I am 15 years old. My name is Balsam. I am 16 years old.
My name is Firanya. I'm 16 years old.
My name is Irman. I'm 17 years old.
My name is Ruslan. I am 17 years old.
We study at Christian General University Islamia in the capital of Madagascar.
Madagascar is an island in the southeast of Africa. It's on the world's biodiversity hotspot. But the impact of climate change is felt in your country. The climate is destroyed.
So we participate on decarbonize, which against climate change.
By the way, we participate on the decarbonize to know the means of combating climate change in the other countries.
We wish you an excellent decarbonize for future.
I love it. Oh, that's so great. It's very late for them, so they were not able to join, of course, because it's like 11 p.m. there or something. But we wanted to thank them for sending that video, and we'll be sure to share it on our social media so that everyone knows that they're involved in the project. We had a Madagascar student join us in Dubai last year. She was an amazing contributor, and it's so wonderful to have a French-speaking school to pair up with some of our other French-speaking countries. All right. How are our rooms going?
It
I wish we
looks-
could stream some of one of our rooms. We should have kept it here.
I think, could we pop this one into one of the rooms?
I wonder if I can join it. I'm going to
Let's try
join a
it.
room and
Yeah.
see what happens. So again, if you would like to join a breakout room and need help navigating that, you let us know. We will be back soon. I'm going to leave one of our tech computers though here. You'll see my name. So you can always message that. All right, we're going to join climate
let's see.
and weather. We found out in that experiment that only the main room can be shared. So we're gonna stream our decarbonized.
We could play a couple of the student videos from the Padlet.
Oh, let's do
Yeah, because we have a
that.
couple on there. While we're waiting, because I'm spying on the biodiversity room right now with the volume turned down, and they are having they are having a very deep conversation. It took them a little bit to get started. So, oh, you know what? One moment. We'll get it going. I don't know if I ever sent the other one to you, to be honest. You could play a couple of these ones. They're good
Yeah.
too.
Well, we have our friend Oriana here from.
Hello, everyone.
I'm gonna share her video. We just.
I am Oriana Berrospi. I'm 17 years old. I like cooking, music, and reading. I am from Peru, and I live in the city of Huánuco. Huánuco is a city with a warm and temperate climate. They call it the Eternal Spring, and it's located in the center of my country, and it's surrounded by mountains. My favorite local animal is the tigrillo, which live in the small jungle of Huánuco. It is my favorite animal because it is similar to a kitty, has big eyes, and a very particular coat. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. All right, I'm gonna bring up our Padlet for today.
Go right to the top. I put it right at the very top. Yeah.
We're
There we go.
just doing some mad scrolling, sorry. Woo, Padlet.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's watch some of our amazing videos that have been submitted from students.
Hello, my name is Brander and I'm from Edmonton, Canada. And for me, climate education is super important because I grew up playing in the wilderness and that's where a lot of my younger memories are grown from. And I think it's super important to learn about it because I want to be able to make different changes to my life that can help preserve our earth.
Hi, my name is Nyla. I'm 21 years old from Edmonton, Alberta. And I think climate education is important because we need to teach everyone how to preserve our environment for the future. And what I want to learn from Decarbonize is how to see climate change from other countries' perspectives.
I guess I'd call us
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Rebecca and I'm 19. I'm from South Korea. For the first question, I think climate education is fundamental as it directly affects not only us, but us globally. And for the second question, I am interested in sustainable development.
Yeah, I think we can play some ENN videos as well. Match with our biodiversity theme from my breakout room.
Hi, my name is Ariana Van Haren. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Rocky Mountain House, Alberta, but I'm studying at the University of Alberta in Edmonton. Climate education is important to me because I grew up on a farm and believe that it's important to preserve our environment and the animals living in it. Through climate education, I want to learn more about sustainable energy.
Beautiful. I think that might be all three that we have in the decarbonized classroom right now.
Awesome. All right, let's go back to this one.
My warm greetings to everyone. My name is Sohan, speaking from India, and I live in Hyderabad, the capital city of Telangana, and I study in Pallavi International School, Gandhipet, in grade 10. Today, I'll be speaking about one of my most favorite creatures, which is the great Indian bustard. This creature belongs to the Angiotis nigriceps species, and it is an omnivorous creature living in the dry scrublands, semi-arid regions, and the dry grasslands in my country. This has a distinctive black cap, a long white neck, and long legs, and a heavy flight body. Thank you.
Now, the fun thing about these is every student shared what their favorite organism is. I learned so much watching these. They're very fun.
They're so great. Oh, looks like that is a presentation.
Hi everyone, my name is Maria Fernanda. I'm 16 years old. I'm from Peru and I live in Trujillo. And the biomes that are close to the place where I live are first the cold sea of the Peruvian current, which is influenced by the Humboldt current, and this affects the entire western coast of South America. We also have the Pacific coastal desert, which is shared with Chile, and this is also influenced by the Humboldt current. And finally, we have the coastal hills, which are shared also with Chile. And these hills have a very high rate of endemism and are characterized by their unique vegetation that flourishes in the hilly season. And this occurs between August and December when there are high points of precipitation. An animal that I really like from these biomes is called the guanaco, and it's like a kind of llama, something like that from here. And I really like it because it's kind of cute. And in my free time, I really enjoy hanging out with my friends, my family, practicing basketball, I don't know, reading, listening to music, watching movies, and a lot of different things. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
I will say a common theme that I saw in a lot of these where I like this one because it's cute.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Jasmine and I'm 17 years old and I'm currently based in Toronto, Canada, which is in the temperate deciduous forest biome. And this biome is really special because it is filled with lots of beautiful trees as well as many living creatures, but my favorite of them all has to be the pine tree. And the pine tree is a very special staple of Canada because it is one of the few species that can actually thrive during Canada's cold winter. And while all the other trees are, dying and all the animals are hibernating, you can just see the pine tree thriving on the roadside, in the forest, and everywhere. And one of the biggest reasons why I love the pine tree so much is because something called like a frosted tree. And it is created by the combination of the morning dew, the morning moisture, as well as the below zero freezing temperature of the day. And what that does is that the moisture will freeze over, creating beautiful icicle effects on every tree branch, and making the tree look beautiful and white and glittery, and just makes you feel like you're in a winter wonderland. And when you drive by the countryside during winter, all of the trees are like this, and it's just a beautiful effect. It's very picturesque, and it makes everything super scenic and aesthetic.
I think somebody likes mallards.
Nothing like a good duck picture.
Hi, my name is Valeria Alvarado. I'm from Trujillo, Peru, and I'm 14 years old. The biome where I live is the coastal desert. It's influence of the Humboldt current, and my favorite animal in this biome is the hummingbird because they like flowers like me, and I think it's so interesting all the things they can do, like fly backwards. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Adriana Gorin. I'm 15 years old and I'm from Trujillo, Peru. The biome where I live is the coastal desert, and that is because it's influenced by the Humboldt current. And my favorite animal from this biome is the sea lion because they let us to see them swimming in the sea, and also they spend the time in the sun, so we can take them pictures, so I find them incredible. Thank you.
Hello guys, I'm Andrea Castro. I'm 17 years old and we are change makers. And we are from Costa Rica, a tropical country located in Central America. We live specifically in Guanacaste, one of the 7 provinces of our country. Guanacaste is well known for its fishes and for its biodiversity. And that's why one of my favorite animals are monkeys. At least in Guanacaste, we have 3 different species of monkeys. And they're just really common. I mean, you just can go outside and just see like a little family of them, and that's why I love them.
Hi, my name is Diego. I am 16 years old, and the biome where I live is called dry tropical forest, and my favorite animal is the tapir.
Hello everyone, my name is Janina Guevara. I am 17 years old, and my favorite animal of our biome is a coati. I find that they are super cute because they always walk in groups in their families, and they have a very cute aspect. They are also very good with humans, even though we shouldn't really touch them. But yeah, that's all, and we are change makers.
Hello everyone, my name is Sophia. I'm 17 and my favorite animal is the Anasua, better known as Bisote here in Costa Rica. I think they're so cute, and also they're like a symbol of the forest fire awareness. That's all for me, and we are change makers.
Amazing. One of our students is having a hard time.
Hello, my name is Dimitri Kemaka from Nigeria. I reside in my capital, Abuja. I attend Amide Secondary School in Nigeria. My biome is in the West African Savannah zone, and we also have some patches of the rainforest in Nigeria. The best animal in my biome is the red Columbus. Why I love the red Columbus is because of, unlike other primates, it's polygamous and its tongue is not opposable like others. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Xander. I'm 15 years old and I play the saxophone. I live in Townsville, Australia, which is located next to the Great Barrier Reef. Townsville is in a dry tropical grassland. My favourite animal that lives in this biome is the bearded dragon.
Oh, cute.
They have broad, triangular heads, flattened bodies, and spiny scales covering their entire body. They come in a variety of different colours.
I gotta say, another one of my favorite things of these is hearing everybody's different accents in the videos side by side.
We've had Peru and Costa Rica and India and Australia and Canada. Woo! Oh, here's our friend who's coming with us to Colombia.
Hi, my name is Ethan and I'm 16 years old. I play the drums and I enjoy playing basketball in my spare time. I live in Townsville, Australia, which has a massive military base and is located near the Great Barrier Reef. The Townsville is located in the dry tropical grassland biome, and my favourite animal in the biome is the green ant. Now, the green ant is found in trees and can be eaten as a snack due to its sour taste. I'm really excited to meet you guys. See ya.
Hello, my name is Oscar.
Oopsies. Sorry. Sorry, Oscar. Let's play.
I think some of them are just pictures.
Okay.
Oh, my name is Patricia Vaikalanga. I'm in Kenya, and I'm 14 years old right now, but I'm turning 15 in 2024, like this year, so I'm basically 15 years old. I speak 3 languages, French, Kiswahili, and English. And I'm not originally born in Kenya. I'm Congolese, but I live in Kenya. And I've developed some kind of love for Kenya as I lived here. So I'm basically kind of Kenyan. But I also write a lot of poetry. I'm like, I don't know, how do you call it? A tragic writer.
All right, one last one.
Hello, everybody. Tanse. My name is Sean Bernard. I am an 18-year-old student that will be going to his first year of university soon. So I'm from the lands that we call Canada, but through my Indigenous lens, I like to recall us as the people of Turtle Island. So Turtle Island for you would take up of what we call today of North America. And being those people of Turtle Island, we take the roles as protectors of Mother Earth, protectors of the lands that we call home. And so where I call home is the beautiful reservation of Water and Lake First Nation, which is on Treaty 6 territory located in the province of Saskatchewan. And so Saskatchewan's biome, I would describe it as a mixture of the prairies and the boreal forest. So the prairies would be the lands that we live on, the agriculture that we farm on, and the place that we call the land of living skies. But the boreal forest as well is the trees that are surrounding our area, the beautiful trees that surround our lakes, and the trees that surround my home of Water and Lake First Nation. And so being involved with Mother Earth and taking that role as protectors, and through my Indigenous culture, we take many healing properties as well as teachings from the land. And one of them I want to share with you today. So this is sweetgrass, and this is grass that will grow inside our biomes, our lands around Canada. And our people would go and pick these. But when we're picking it, we would have a positive mindset. We would have a mindset of healing. And we'd take strands of this grass and we'd braid it into this braid right here with 3 strands. And each strand representing a path that we're on in life. And so it teaches us that we may face bumps, may face offsides, we may face changes, but we're still on that path if we're on the right mindset. And not only does it teach us that, it also gives us the properties of healing, guidance, and protection. And so getting into those teachings, I would love to share my favorite animal. And sorry, I get so passionate, but my favorite animal would be the eagle. And the eagle is something that's very special and important to me. Not only is it such a beautiful, amazing animal, it also has a message of teaching with it. And that teaching is the message of hope. And so whenever I see the eagle and it's soaring across our lands, I remind myself of that message of hope, of what we stand for, the hope of our people, the hope of us being change makers, especially us as children being a part of these discussions, wanting to take on that role. That is something that I carry within myself anywhere I go. So thank you.
So beautiful.
So beautiful. Thank you, Sean, for sharing your thoughts. He participated as a Global Lead student in Egypt at COP28, and we invited him to share a few words. He'll be joining us actually at COP16, the Biodiversity COP, because just the voice of Indigenous peoples across our world are poorly represented at these important meetings, and it is so important to champion the knowledge and perspectives of all people, especially Indigenous peoples who have a very particular lens into both systemic issues around inclusion and knowledge that goes back millennia. So we are so excited to champion Sean as a part of our program, and thank you, Sean, for sharing your words. All right, amazing. I hope you had fantastic conversation in your rooms. I wish we had time to invite you all to share the amazing things. Maybe in your chat, in the chat, you can say something really cool that you learned or heard that you want to share with all of us. That would be amazing. We can post them on our social media and stuff to like celebrate all the stories that were shared. I hope you were able to meet new people from new places. I saw one room was a lot of teachers, but they were having fun talking to each other. And so that's great too. We are going to welcome our friend from Helena Institute to join us now. Catalina is an important advocate, biologist, environmental manager, and she advocates that we can build a better future through nature-based solutions and the diverse relationships that occur within it. She is a nature analyst at the Helena Institute and a researcher in climate change, childhoods, and peripheries. As an environmentalist in constant connection with nature, she envisions a regenerative future through the lens of diversity, serving as a bridge between ancestral innovation and adaptation to the triple planetary crisis of climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. Thank you so much for joining us, Catalina. Please unmute and welcome.
Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Terry, and everyone. Let me share my screen. 1 second. Can you see my screen? Everything's okay? Oh, perfect. So, hello, everyone. Hola a todos. Hola a todos. I'm very happy and honored to be here with you. First of all, to continue making this inclusive event, I will describe myself so everyone can know what I look like. I am Carolina Maciel, a Black woman with Black curly hair. I'm wearing a black blouse and a green earring. from the Yawanawa indigenous people who live in Brazilian Amazon rainforest. I'm speaking from Brazil. I am a biologist, an environmental manager, and a nature analyst at the Alana Institute. But before all of that, before I even went to college, I was someone, and I still someone who loves nature and learned a lot from it. When I was little, I would tell about a little bit about my story. When I was little, the rains would affect my house every year. My grandmother was afraid of the rain, and so was my mother, because our neighborhood was not prepared for it. Our city saw nature as an enemy, not as part of who we are. And when the rain came, there was nowhere for the water to go. This is Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, my house. Later, we decided to move away, and I lived in 2 other states in Brazil. There, the situation was the opposite. It didn't rain much, and there was not enough water for everyone. I remember as a child being very curious about the cycles of nature. I was asking myself a lot, why did it rain so much in one place and not in the other place? And I also noticed that the people most affected by those environmental problems were children, as I was at this time. But there's something positive in all of this. I was raised by 3 different states in Brazil, 3 different types of forests with the legacy of indigenous and Afro-Brazilian communities. I grew up in these different environments, learning from each one that nature is the greatest laboratory that exists, just as Luis said before. Nature has had all the time in the world to do its tests and experiments. And everything we see in nature works in full diversity, creativity, and in a collective way. And in my life journey as a biologist, I've learned that we are also part of nature and should work in the same way, with diversity, creativity, and together. This is my life's purpose, and this is my work at Alana too. It's to act and inspire a better world for children, defending the right to live in a fair, equal world with access to nature and where children have a voice heard, showing that nature is important to children and just as children are important to nature, encouraging the creation of playful and child-friendly cities with more green and public spaces distributed, and promoting reflection on climate and social environmental justice for children and adolescents, and defending their rights and those of the environment with absolute priority. And this is possible when we work together, just like we're doing here today. I came to speak for 10 minutes, but I'm here to listen for 1 hour and more. We, adults, need to listen to children and act with them and for them, even at the COPs, the conferences of the party. This year, we will have the COP16 about biodiversity and the COP29 about the climate crisis. And the crisis of biodiversity loss means we are losing many amazing animals and trees that help us have cleaner air, better soil, better water. They help us with food and medicine. And the climate crisis affects all of this. And it's happening faster and stronger, impacting everybody's rights, but mostly the children's rights. We cannot make decisions about children's lives without them at the decision-making tables. This is my philosophy and Alana's philosophy too. And that's why at Alana, we believe that COP30 in Brazil, the next year, can be the first COP for children. A COP made for children and with children at the center of the discussions and the decisions, just like in other international processes like General Comments 26. Alana is even taking children to COP30 through our Creative Schools Award, which encourages children and teenagers to change their realities, recognizing them as the key players in these transformations and strengthening their right to participate as well. Wow, climate crisis, biodiversity loss, crisis of pollution. You can see that there are many problems, right? Many and diverse problems. So the solutions also need to be diverse. We need to learn from nature how each of us, with our culture and ways of life, needs to have our voice heard and needs to put our hands in the soil and plant seeds of hope, seeds of knowledge sharing, and seeds of action too. We need to learn from nature-based solutions, which can be brought into schools when we talk about nature-based education. It's when we see the nature as our friend, not our enemies. We include nature in the school curriculum, bring it into the school's physical structure and surroundings, and consider the unwalling of schools in cities. This is how we see schools as centers of mitigation, adaptation, and resilience in face of climate crisis. We have the power to make change. We have nature and planet Earth as our only common home. You all are my neighbors in some ways. So let's use the power of working together. Let's be like the trees. I don't know if you know this, but trees can communicate with each other when they feel a predator is near. They send signals through their roots or branches to warn other trees to protect themselves with a strong smell. So trees are very smart in communicating to shape their present and protect their future. So let's learn from them. Let's learn from the trees who are also our neighbors too. Let's learn to make a difference with sustainability, with care, with intention, with creativity and innovation, without leaving anyone behind. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you very much for listening to me.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Oh, and I think that's such a both your message and your initiatives and your location. We celebrate again that this is not a singular project on a singular journey, that we are here together to work for change all throughout education systems, throughout youth movements as change makers, but building towards COP29 and then building towards COP30, which will be in your backyard in Brazil. And so we are excited to celebrate our friends from Brazil and looking forward to visiting your country in a year, but also looking next to Baku and how can we build this momentum and really bring ourselves all together. So again,
I want to say, sorry, before we do our final thank yous, because I know there's a lot of us that are messaging that we have to get back to class, we have to leave. We have not taken our group photo yet. So I want to get our group photo in before we forget and before we lose more. So I'm going to ask everybody to come up very close to their screens. If you're in a group classroom, turn your camera on if you have been shy. Fix your hair if you need to fix your hair. And what we're going to do is we're going to do our decarbonized cheer. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1. Decarbonize. That was a good
West
practice.
Side, I see you sitting back there. You got to come up.
Yeah, so everybody,
you have to come up, West Side.
I'm going to give you 30 more seconds to get yourself cleaned up and ready to go, and then
Get
we're
the
going to do
hair.
some group pictures.
No.
Yeah, Corona.
Rocio. Bring your kids up.
If you want to unmute for the decarbonized cheer, you can. You just have to re-mute afterwards because it gets crazy.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do a couple of them. 3, 2, 1, decarbonize. Beautiful. And we'll do one more just to be safe. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Decarbonize. Amazing.
Beautiful. Thank you. Back to you for the important stuff.
All right. So remember, we are stopping now, but that doesn't end. You need to get online, get onto the Padlet, start looking at that first activity. The fall will come fast and furious, so don't lose track of that. 2, art. Do you have art? Do you have friends that have art? We want your art to take to COP, to display, if nothing else, to display online and celebrate with people all over the world who are on our gallery checking out amazing artwork by students. 3, sign up for the manifesto writing. Get Get in there, have your voices heard, share your thoughts and opinions with the world. And a part of that is doing the global survey. So we will be reminding your teachers, you need to find a class. Columbia already has 200 students that have answered, just Columbia. So, I mean, that is a challenge. You need to try to meet it. So talk to teachers in your school. Give 5 minutes for a class to run the survey. If you need it in another language, let us know. We will translate it. All right, that was all my to-dos. Thank you to our amazing partners who have come alongside us to help make this happen. We are so excited to see you online and coming soon. So thank you everyone for sharing your time today, for sharing your passion, for sharing your drive. We are so excited for the next few months.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Wonderful evening.
Night from India.
Morning,
Good night from
sleep.
India.
Bye. Bye.
Good night. Good morning. Go back to class.
Go home, wherever you are.
Bye-bye.
Night from Madagascar.
Yeah, see you.
So nice to see you all.
Everyone from Trinidad.
Bye.
Bye to the world.
Then